Welcome back to In Ohio Country today. We're out here in beautiful Maria Stein, Ohio, God's country as we refer to it, here at Homan Inc. And with me is Dale Everman,
That's
Vice
correct.
President of Homan Inc. Dale, before we get into what we really want to talk about today, give us a little bit of background on you and agriculture and how you ended up in this business.
Well, I grew up only probably 2 or 3 miles down the road. My dad started off, when he was younger, they had chickens, and then they converted all the chicken barns into hog barns, and he farmed a couple hundred acres, had 300 sows, and we raised them farrow to finish. And then early 90s, we put up a finishing barn and then converted everything to finisher. So from then until I was out of college, we had finishing pigs, and then from there, times had changed and got into some other things, and we got rid of the pigs, but this is where we ended up.
Well, so today we want to kind of discuss, talk about some of the services you offer here, particularly with grain storage, grain handling equipment. You want to just talk about who your vendor is and some of the things that they offer.
We are a GSI dealer. We've been a GSI dealer for 14 years, I think, is what we're going on. We bought from another group of individuals that were putting up grain bins and installing dryers. And in the last 14 years, we've kind of elaborated into the material handling and bigger grain setups than just the standard bins.
Well, so GSI offers a lot of products, and I think probably a lot of farmers and producers just think grain bins only. Let's talk about those, but let's talk about some of the other things that they offer as well.
Well, the biggest thing that we've adapted to and gotten into more in the last 4 or 5 years is the grain pits, the grain legs, the towers, bigger dryers, bigger air systems. Efficiency is what we want for that grain farmer to have, so that way that they can unload and fill their bins in an economical way.
Well, as a producer, I realize the value of bins. We've been using them for a long time, right? There's a reason we don't just haul all our stuff to market. It's really advantageous for us, capture the basis in the market and things like that.
Absolutely, and that's the biggest thing. You want to be able to dump when you want. You want to be able to dry at your pace. And for the grain farmers, that's a big part of their fall, to allow them to control what they want to do, and then, like you said, control the basis, get the carry. That way you can store and dry and do as you need and make money when you want to.
Well, yeah, and you can you control the condition of the grain when you want to sell it.
Absolutely. Another thing that we're getting more and more into is the in storage monitoring options. GSI has a grain view monitoring system that allows the farmer to turn the fans on when they want to, or if they want to have it automated to where it's based off humidity and temperature and what's going on in the bin. They'll tell you if there's issues in the bin, and that way you can address as needed and keep that bin in the best shape you can.
Well, Dale, if I'm a farmer and I call you up and I say, hey, I want to put up some grain storage, or I'm looking to expand my grain operation or my storage operation, what's the advantage of me calling Homan Equipment and GSI?
Well, we come out and take a look at your setup, get a drawing put together, run through some options, kind of try to get a budget number together on what you want to do, and put a price together that fits your needs. And if we have to do it in phases, we can go that route too. But between the in-house CAD department and the options that GSI give us, it's nice to be able to put that view in front of the customer.
Well, we've talked about grain bins and GSI and all those kind of things. You guys do a lot of other things here besides, and I know you integrate the GSI system and a lot of the other things you do here.
Yeah, so not only do we do grain systems, AP in Cumberland is the protein side of GSI. So whether it's hog facilities with feeders, feed bins, flex systems, chicken and poultry as well, we do the ventilation and the fans from AP in Cumberland as well. So it's a good fit on both the protein and the grain side with GSI.
As a producer, I'm always looking for a return on my investment. So if I'm talking to you, what can I expect as a return on my investment with a GSI grain system?
Well, along with the storage and drying, so when you bring your grain into the mill and they want it dry, they're going to ding you. If you want to store it and they're going to ding you there, put that control and money back into your pocket on your farm. And even with these grain view systems, you need to treat this corn or beans or wheat, whatever you're storing, like a bank. Whatever is on farm, you need to treat it like a bank. The better shape it's in, the more money you'll get for it. And if you start, if it starts to get in trouble and you want to get rid of it, now you're selling at a market that maybe not, as high as you'd like it to be, but you're doing it because you don't know what's going on in your bin. GSI offers everything that keeps that in your pocket and allows you to control your future.
Technology has really came a long way in grain storage, grain handling. I mean, I remember we put our first bin up, it had an in-bin dryer, and it was quite the process to dry a bin of grain and haul it out. Today's technology is so much more advanced.
GSI is, they're coming out with a new drying, well, it's not really new, but they're coming out with a mixed flow system here in the next year, mixed flow dryer, better quality, but between the tower dryers and portable dryers, GSI has the best option out there as far as what's available for the farmer, commercial, and a lot of these farmers anymore are starting to look more and more commercial every day too. So the days of sticking your head over the manhole to see what it smells like or feels like coming out are behind us. The Grain View allows you to monitor it from your phone, turn your fans on from your phone, see your dryer from your phone. So everything that you used to have to go out and look at or smell or stick your head into is now controlled from a phone or monitor from a computer.
There are a lot of options, and you made mention earlier about how you can expand in phases. So maybe just walk us through, if I'm thinking about putting up a couple of bins or I want to get started, what would be some of the minimums that you would look at?
Well, depending, my questions always involve how many acres are you shelling, how fast can you shell, how fast do you want to dump. We want to make sure that we are addressing the bottlenecks in your system to get you to the next step that allows you to grow. So, if it's dumping time or capacity or drying capacity, all that stuff comes into play based off of either a new layout that you want or an existing system that you have, and then we draw up and adapt to make sure it fits what you need.
Well, Dale, as always, if I'm a producer and a farmer and I buy my system from you, what can I expect?
The thing with Homan Incorporated is everything that we sell, we service. So we've got in-house technicians, CAD guys, millwrights, everything that your farm would need with a grain system to continue for it to grow and to run at its capacity.
Dale, we're standing out here outside the business, but what's more significant is where it's located. Century Farm and a beautiful venue behind us. You want to talk just a little bit about what we got going on here?
Well, back in, I think, 1958, Roger Homan, which is my father-in-law, and his dad started this farm. Behind us is what they call the harvest barn. Roger fixed this barn up about 15 years ago, redid the whole outside, and then the inside he redid the concrete, but left most of all of the raw wood exposed. So it works great for meetings. Actually, my brother-in-law and his wife bought it and took it over, and now I've turned it into what they call the harvest barn, and they do weddings, birthday parties, and everything else in there, and it's a great venue.
Well, Dale, we really appreciate you being with us today.
Well, it's been great. I appreciate the opportunity, and it's always good dealing with farmers and customers.
If somebody needs more information, where can they go?
www.homaninc.com. Check out the website. It'll kind of go over everything that we do as far as equipment, construction, and grain systems.
We'll be back with more in Ohio Country Today right after this.